The Hands of the Black by Luis Bernardo Honwana. I don't remember now how we got onto the subject, but one day, teacher said that the palm of the black hands were much lighter than the rest of their bodies because only a few centuries ago they walked around on all fours like wild animals, so their palms weren't exposed to the sun, which made the rest of their bodies darker and darker. I thought of this when Father Cristiano told us after catechism that we were absolutely hopeless and that even the blacks were better than us, and he went back to this thing above their hands being lighter and said it was like that because they always went above with their hands folded together praying in secret. I thought this was so funny, this thing of the black's hands being lighter, that you should just see me now. I don't let go of anyone, whoever they are, until they tell me why they think that the palms of the black sands are lighter. Doña Doris, for instance, told me that God made her hands lighter so that they wouldn't dirty the food they made for their masters or anything else they were ordered to do that had to be kept quite clean. Senor Antunes, the Coca-Cola man, who only comes to the village now and again when all the cooks in the cantinas have been sold, said to me that everything I had been told was a lot of baloney. Of course, I don't know it was really, but he assured me it was. After I said yes, alright, it was baloney, then he told me what he knew about this thing of the black sands. It was like, long ago, many years ago, God our Lord Jesus Christ, the Virgin Mary, Saint Peter, many other saints, all the angels that were in heaven then, and some people who died and gone to heaven, they all had a meeting and decided to make blacks. Do you know how? They got hold of some clay and pressed it into some second-hand molds, and to bake the clay of the creatures, they took them to heavenly kilns. Because they were in a hurry, and there was no room next to the fire, they hung them in chimneys. Smoke, smoke, smoke. And there you have them, black as coals. And now, do you want to know why their hands stayed white? Well, didn't they have to hold on while their clay baked? When he had told me this, Senor Antunes and the other men who were around us were very pleased and they all burst out laughing. That very same day, Senor Frias called me after Senor Antunes had gone away and told me everything I had heard from them. There had been just one big pack of lies. Really and truly, what he knew about the black sands was right, that God finished making man and told them to bath in a lake in heaven. After bathing, the people were nice and white. The blacks well. They were made very early in the morning, and at this hour, the water in the lake was very cold. So they only wet the palms of their hands and the soles of their feet before dressing and coming to the world. But I read in a book that happened to mention it, that the blacks have hand the lighter like this because they spend their lives bent over, gathering the white cotton of Virginia and I don't know where else. Of course, Donna Estefania didn't agree when I told her this. According to her, it's only because their hands became bleached with all that washing. Well, I don't know what to think about all this, but the truth is that however calloused and cracked they may be, a black sand are always lighter than all the rest of him. And that's that. My mother is the only one who must be right about this question of a black's hand being lighter than the rest of his body. On the day that we were talking about it, as to I was telling her what I already knew about the questions, and she just couldn't stop laughing. What I thought was strange was that she didn't tell me at once what she thought about all this, and she only answered me when she was sure that I wouldn't get tired of bothering her about it. And even then, she was crying and clutching herself in the stomach like someone who had laughed so much that it was quite unbearable. What she said was more or less this: God made blacks because they had to be. They had to be, my son. He thought they really had to be. Afterwards, he regretted having made them because the other men laughed at them and took them off their homes and put them to serve like slaves or not much better. But because he couldn't make them all be white, for those who were used to seeing them black would complain. He made it so that the palms of their hands would be exactly like the palms of their hands of the other men. And do you know why that was? Of course you don't know. And it is not surprising because many people don't know. Well, listen. It was to show that what men do is the work of men. That what men do is done by the hands that are the same hands of people who, if they had any sense, would know that before everything else, they are men. He must have thinking of this when he made the blacks of the hands be the same as the hands of those men who thank God they are not black. After telling me this, my mother kissed my hands. As I ran off into the yard to play the ball, I thought that I had never seen a person cry so much